Here we go. Section 6. Look at number 1. What do you notice that's different about number 1 than everything you did on last night's homework? Jonathan?
There's a 3 with x squared.
There's a 3 in front. Okay, look down at number 2. What's there that's different? Jake?
There's just a number in front of the first.
Okay. So on these problems today, we have numbers that are in front of the first number. Now, if we go back, and we went back and looked at our lesson in 9.5, it said factoring trinomials that were x squared plus bx plus c. I had no a there. And that kind of scenario, Dylan, is where that shortcut's going to apply that we're going to talk about tomorrow. Okay? But today, everything has that number in front. Now, the method was called the Mac method. The M stood for what? Multiply. So we multiply the first number, this 3, times the back number, the negative 10. That is the key idea of the entire lesson today. So over here, let's put 3 times 10. Obviously, 3 times 10 is 30. Help me out. What goes in the second circle? What does it add to? 17. So put a 17 there. All right, so our factors of 30. 1 and 30, obviously add to 31. Doesn't work. What about 2? 2 and 15. That adds to 17. So that's our choice. Multiply, add. There's our choose. Okay? I take those 2 and that 15, and how do I use those? I come over here to the 17, and I expand the problem. I take that 17, and I put a 2x and a 15x in place of those. Now, take your finger, take your pencil, take whatever, cover up the back ones, and just focus on these front numbers. Think back. What's their GCF there? What goes into both? An x. So put an x out front.
But you can't use the shortcut now.
No, now you can't. X times what is 3x squared? X times what is 3x squared? 3x. X times what is 2x? What 2? Plus 2 minus 2? Plus 2. You always got to kind of pay attention there. All right? Now we put our box. And here's the second difference from the original stuff that I talked about last week. We still do the 3x plus 2 at the back, which is the exact same as the front part. But now we're going to ask the following question. The red box times the 2 has to equal the 10. What must it be? What kind of 5? Good, Nate. Positive 5. So let's put a plus 5 in there. Now we need to check it. What's positive 5 times positive 3x? So does it check? All right. Both of those must work for that to be true. Last week, what was this number always tracking with? Remember the number right above? Doesn't track today. This is more of a standard problem. So let's write our answer. Who feels like they can give me the whole answer? Someone give it to me? We take that 3x plus 2, write that one down. Then if it helps, take your fingers and cover up the 3x plus 2's. What do you see that's left? X plus 5. So that goes in the second blank. And there we go. All right? Now what I've done is I've selected 3 or 4 problems that all have a little bit different piece to them, so we kind of practice all the possibilities as we're kind of going through these together. So let's look down at number 2. 8y squared minus 10y minus 3. What goes in my blank over here? Write down what you think goes in there. I'll give you about 5 seconds to think through that. What goes in that blank there? Raise your hand if you think you got it. A couple of us so far. All right, Vicki, what do you got? Negative 24 is correct. That was the 8 times negative 3. If it helps, put that right up there just to remind you later. Second blank. Nate. Negative 10. All right. So, the special case scenario here, we have a negative number in the front half. What does that mean our numbers must be? One's negative, one's a positive. I like to start with positive, so let's start there. 1 times negative 24. That works. What does that add to? Negative 23. True? Didn't work. 2.
Do a negative 12.
Good. What does that add to? There it is. Multiply, add. There's our 2's. Circle it. There's your 2's. 8y squared. What comes next? Good. Plus 2y. Don't forget the y. Then what? Minus 12y minus 3. Now, I hope you're noticing that when I write this next line, I'm writing it fairly large. And the purpose is we're going to be breaking it up and doing lots of things with it, so you don't want to write this next line really compactly, because you want to try to track vertically down your paper. All right? So just as a suggestion, write it large. Okay, I cover up the back half. Now we have a brand new idea. We have not done this before. This is unlike anything we've done so far this chapter. Now when we're looking for the GCF, it's not just x like it was in the first problem. What is it now? Jonathan?
2y.
Now it's 2y. It's not just 1y, because a 2 goes into both the 8 and the 2. So your GCF out front is going to be a 2y. And that's a key idea. Put your big parentheses. And notice my parentheses are right below those two terms. Barbara and Matt. 2y times what is 8y squared? 4y. We agree with them? Chris and Brittany. 2y times what is 2y? What 1? Plus 1, minus 1? Plus 1. Nice job, Chris. Everyone okay there? Is that plus 1 a key? Yeah, you got to have it. All right. Move your barricade. Big box. What goes in the back parentheses? 4y plus 1. Okay, now we have to ask that question again. Here we go. Box times positive 1 is negative 3. Yeah, negative 3. Good. How do we check it? Okay, negative 3 times 4. Negative 12. So it checks. Dylan or Sophia, can you give me my answer? Good. 4y plus 1. Close. Close, close, close. See the 2y out front? 2y minus 3. Dylan, once again, what I do is I cover up the 4y plus 1s, and I look at my thing and I say, what's left? The 2y and the minus 3. Good call. Josh.
I have a question on the 2y. How did you get that again?
This 2y right here?
Yeah.
I looked at the 8 and the 2, and I said, what is the common factor between the two of them? And obviously between 8 and 2, it's 2? Okay. All right, flip over. Raise your hand if you know what goes in the first circle. I want to kind of see where we are here. About a third of us? All right, Matt, explain.
It'd be positive 21.
It'd be positive 21. Why? 7 times 3. Okay? If it helps, put that up there. Raise your hand if you know who's in the second circle. More people know that one. Caroline.
Negative 10.
Negative 10. Very good. Here we go. Factors of 21. 1 and? Okay, that adds to 22. 2? Does 2 go in? 3. 3 and 7. That adds to 10. Is that close? It's opposite of what we want. So what do you remember we do to all three of our numbers? Take the opposite of them. So the positives become negatives and vice versa. In this case, they all become negative. There's our choice. Who can expand for me? This next line. Who can give me the long line? Jake, go ahead.
So it's 7a squared minus 3a
Good.
minus 7a.
Good.
And then would it still be plus?
It would still be plus 3. Good. And notice once again, write that out in a nice long format. Okay, cover up the back half. Between 7a squared and 3a, what's your GCF? A, so put down your A. What's left? A times what is 7a squared? 7a. A times what is negative 3a? I hear A. A times what is negative 3a? Negative 3. Okay, put down your box. Put down your 7a minus 3. This is your turn. Write down what you think goes in the box. Go. Don't say it. Write down what you think goes in the box. Good. 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 All right. I saw 5 correct answers from 5 boxes. What goes in the box, everybody? Negative 1. My answer, 7a minus 3. A minus 1. Someone asked me last hour, do they have to be in that order? Could I have written a minus 1, 7a minus 3? Is either correct? Yeah. So if you get one on the answer key and I have the other one, realize that they're both correct. Don't stress about it. Now, what isn't correct is if you have 7a minus 1 and a minus 3. That's not correct. So just pay attention to that one. All right, here, let's kind of move through this next one. 5x squared plus 6x minus 8. Melissa and Barbara, what goes in the box? In the circle. Good, Barbara, negative 40. Excellent. That was 5 times negative 8. In the second one? 6. Hey, when we have a negative number here, what must our numbers be? 1 negative, 1 positive. So here we go. 1 and negative 40. Negative 39. Didn't work. 2. Negative 20. Okay. That's negative 18. Didn't work. 3. Doesn't work, does it? 4. Negative 10. That's negative 6. Is that close to what we want? All right. So, what do? Opposite of everything. Does that mean you make them all negative?
No.
No. Opposite of everything. All right, Max, you've been doing good here. Expand for me, Max.
Alright, so it's 5x
5x squared.
squared plus,
Come down here. Remember, we come down to these two numbers.
plus negative 4.
Okay. Negative 4x.
Plus
10x, good.
10
Minus 8. All right. Look at the first two. Felipe and Tiffany, what's my GCF? X, good. Felipe, what's left? If you take that x out, x times what is 5x squared? Good. And x times what is negative 4x? Negative 4, thank you. All right, put the box down. Raise your hand if you know what goes in.
Yeah, same thing.
Jess, what goes in? 2. Plus 2. Thanks for saying a plus. Let's check her. Is positive 2 times negative 4 negative 8? Did that work?
Yeah.
Is positive 2 times 5x 10x? So there we go. My answer, 5x minus 4. And Dylan, give me your eyes. Watch. Boom and boom. What's left? Yeah, x plus 2. You see that connection now? So let's put that x plus 2 at the back. So that was an example of changing the signs at the very end. The top one was an example of changing both signs. You know, 2 negatives there, here 1 negative, 1 positive. All right, here's for the granddaddy. I put this one on here because I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a challenge. Raise your hand. What goes in the first circle? Chris? Okay, now let me give you a little hint here. Write small. See how big that number is? How many factors of 120, guys? A lot. So we need to just write small. They have to add to negative 7. So here we go. 1 and negative 120. What does that add to? If your eyes are half as bad as mine, you need that help. Negative 119. Does 2 go in? How many times? So negative 60. What do they add to? Negative 58. Doesn't work. 3. Negative 40. That's negative 37. The numbers are getting smaller, which is good, right? 4. Negative 30. That's negative 26. They're still getting smaller. That's good. We're getting closer to negative 7. Does 5 go in? How many times? 5 times 15, 75. If you don't have you can use your calculator. Negative 24. And that's negative 19. We're getting much smaller. Does 6 go in? 20 times. Thanks, Jess. That's negative 14. We're getting really close now. Does 7 go in? It doesn't? Does 8 go in? How many times? Thank you. So negative 15. And there it is. Now, let's pause for a second. 2, 4, 6, 7 times. In reality, that's all the scratch work you have to do, because everything else is systematic. Was there guessing here? Why did we start at 1 and march all the way through? What happens if you just try to guess numbers? You skip things, and you'll miss it. That's why we march through it. It's not going to take you that long. Honestly, you have a calculator next to you, you can just crunch the numbers out quickly. It shouldn't take you long at all. All right, so let's slide back over here to the left. Let's expand. 6x squared plus 8x minus 15x minus 20. Luis and Annalise and Vicky and Elliot, help me out with this first part. Nice. 2x. Someone else of that foursome, can you tell me what's left? Two x times what is 6x squared? Yeah, 3x. And 2x times what is 8x? Plus 4. Thanks for saying a plus, Luis. All right, put the 3x plus 4 at the back. Someone tell me, what question do I ask? Don't tell me the answer. Tell me what question you ask yourself in your mind. What are you asking yourself now?
What is the box?
Okay, what is the box? How do you figure out what is the box, Max? What's that? So you think negative 20 divided by 4. That's perfect. Negative 20 divided by 4 is? Negative 5. Okay, so put a negative 5 there. How do we check it? What's negative 5 times 3x? Negative 15. So it has to check. Dylan, you got the answer? Question, go ahead. This one? Did you follow me getting the 2x there? Okay. I focus right here. 2x and 6x squared. And I say, 2x times what is 6x squared? 3x. effectively you're dividing 6x squared by 2x. Would you agree that 2 times 3 is 6, and x times x is x squared? So that's how you get the 3x there. Then you do the same thing back here. 2 times what is 8? 4. X times what is x? Nothing, so just 4. So it's just factoring out that GCF.
I know it's 20 squared.
You do? Well, good.
It's 400.
Yep. So there's our answer. And we got it. Now these are going to take some practice. But in the world of factoring, this is as hard as they get. So if you can handle something on this level, you're in great shape. And if you can handle on this level on the first day, that's a phenomenal shape. All right, 2 squares for today. 19, think with me, 9 times 9 is 81, so what does this end with?
4 and 5.
A 1. So 19 squared is 361. That's a new one. And then 20 squared, Max gave us, is 400. Now,